Missed an episode of your favorite podcast? Choose from over a decade of content in our archives, not just the latest episode. All free at gcnlive.com.
This is your call to action. Get prepared, America. Economy, survival, energy, disasters. This is USAPrepares.com. Informative radio, educational radio. Interact now by emailing instructor@USAPrepares.com or text at 434-390-7953. Class, please take your seats. Now, your instructor, Vincent Finelli. Watch the greenbacks tumble.
Everyone all set? Cocked? Locked? Yeah, here we go. Your dial set correctly to USAPrepares.com. And we're delighted you're here. Broadcasting 2 hours from high atop the Missouri Ozark Mountains. And there's a link to all of your instructors on the website, USAPrepares.com. Converging threats are confronted daily by your instructors. I'm Vincent Finelli. Trevor's engineering the broadcast in Minnesota. We have a call-in line if you'd like to call us. We'll pay for the call. 866-582-9933. You can listen to us on YouTube. Just go to USA Prepares Radio and Ron Gibson's channel. We'll be delighted to provide you with this broadcast. It's recorded every day, posted on YouTube, and you can listen at your convenience, or you can listen to us on the listen line, telephone listen line, 605-562-7727. 605-562-7727. And we have so many calls that we have been assigned another listen line. Okay? And that second listen line is 605-562-4080. 4080. John Regan's with us, Captain John Regan. Welcome, Captain John Regan.
Good morning, Vincent.
You know... I was talking with Trevor just before the broadcast started, and we're just chatting along, and he said, we should do the broadcast. And I said, soon? He said, right now. So, John Regan, today's Monday. 3 days from now, on Friday, we have the Get Prepared Expo. And it's going to be an absolute blast. The phone's ringing nonstop right here at the farmhouse. People are calling, getting their last-minute tickets for dinner. And by the way, we still have some dinner tickets, so if you'd like to join your instructors on Friday night, Saturday night, or Sunday for lunch, you may. Just go to getpreparedexpo.com, and you can buy your tickets for the banquet meals. $10.80 each. And we're going to have pallets of ProPure water filtration systems at the lowest price in the country. Berkey water filters, lowest price in the country. Spare parts if you want for Berkey and ProPure water filtration systems. We have extra spigots in stainless steel. Lowest price in the country. Spare filters. If you want to buy an AR-15 from a kit, we've got them. $450 at the show. Show special. And Erin Dakins introduced me to something that I knew about, but she was telling me about food-grade diatomaceous earth. We brought cases of food-grade diatomaceous earth in for the expo. And I have tried it. I'll tell you what, I have more energy after I had just a half a teaspoon of diatomaceous earth. So I'm going to try it for the rest of the week. She's been on it. She says same thing. Lots more energy. And I'm not kidding. It's kind of like the difference between a person who doesn't drink coffee at all and then drinks 3 espressos. That's what I'm talking about. That kind of difference. So I am wide awake, have more energy than I've had in a long time. And I'm up late at night, early in the morning. I really think this is a great way to go. Food grade diatomaceous earth, lowest price in the country. You'll be able to walk away with a large canister of food grade DE, large, for about $10. You can bring it with you. And I got some calls for scholarships. And if anyone needs a scholarship to the expo, if the $8 online is a hardship for one day, $15 online for the weekend, if that's a scholarship, if that's a hardship, we'll be delighted to provide you with a scholarship. Just ask at the door. Now, bear in mind, if everybody wants a scholarship, we won't have any more expos. Okay? Seriously. Because we can't do it. We have expenses. We're not trying to make any money on it. As a matter of fact, we have never made money on an expo. We are in the hole. After 6 expos, this is number 7, we are in the hole $5,000. So then nobody gets paid. Nobody on the Finelli family gets paid. So we've donated our labor for years, and we're down $5,000. So we're delighted to provide you with scholarships if you need them. And we're looking forward to seeing all of you at the Get Prepared Expo. And I have a favor to ask. Please use your email and social media and tell everybody you know about the Get Prepared Expo. We've decided, John Regan, we've decided that we're not going to advertise on the television this time. No television advertising. Just radio and newspapers, local signs, that kind of thing. And the reason why is television has failed us. You know, if you look at the programming, they've got these talking readers, people who have lied to us about their backgrounds. You know, these we call them newscasters? I don't know what to call these people. They sit in front of a camera and they have a microphone and they read a teleprompter. Those guys. Pretty faces. Embellishers. So why would we support, those guys? Why would we support the Ellen DeGenerates of the world? Why would we support the controlled media that says Barry's doing a great job and so is the rest of the government? Why would we do that? Why would we support them? So we'll take our advertising money and not spend it with them. We'll spend it on radio and print. So, John, you got any good news?
Let's see. Nope, doesn't look like it.
All right. Where do you want to start?
Well, I came across an interesting article last week, and it's uncategorized at the top. I call it A Blast from the Past. And this talks about a presentation that was to be given last week at and keep in mind, this is a NASA-sponsored conference. It's the 46th Lunar and Planetary Science Conference, which is held in Houston. And the guy doing the presentation is a PhD plasma physicist. This is not just, a journalist or, some, kid making blogs in his mommy's basement. This is, pretty big scientist giving a presentation, about were Martians wiped out by nuclear weapons. And I know that there's a number of people that get some flack about, what happened in our past, because he apparently has some pretty good evidence based on radioactivity that's on the Martian surface that he says can only happen from weapon signatures. Now, we've got similar things that have happened on Earth, too. There's a place in India where they found bodies in the street of the city, and bodies were still radioactive. There's the fused green glass in several places in the Middle East that, they didn't really know where this came from, but we managed to recreate that when we started firing off our weapons in, our desert Southwest. So, and also even I talk about, we had a higher level of civilization before the flood. And this is just another piece of that evidentiary puzzle that our past is not what we believe it to be. Vincent?
Well, as I listen to this, I've heard rumors of this many years ago, and including the nuclear destruction of humanity. So I don't know. I really don't know. But it's interesting how when we think there's evidence of a UFO, first thing we look for is radiation, right?
And in fact, there's a lot of people out there that say that if you take an infrared capable camera, you can see these craft out there much more than you can with the naked eye.
Carl Sagan was one of my instructors at the university for a very brief time. And he talked about the possibility of us being alone. And some people are afraid that, that there are others out there. And I've got to ask the question, wouldn't you be more afraid if we are alone? Can you imagine that, if we're alone? But Carl Sagan went to the blackboard. He put this equation on the board, and it was just very simple probabilities. And by the time you solve this equation, you'd realize that we are absolutely not alone. It's almost impossible for us. It probably is impossible for us to be alone. So I'm glad there are others out there. I just hope they're a lot nicer than we are. I hope they're less greedy, and I hope that they don't take a lesson from the United States government. It's absolutely horrible. John Regan, when we come back, we're going to talk about unbelievably interesting news, including, hey, how would you like to take a shower with the EPA monitoring your shower habits? That's one of the things we're going to talk about. Yeah, the government just can't. They're so perverted, they just can't stay away from us. And Michelle Obama? Class, we want to pay less taxes and enjoy the same tax deductions that the rich take. At the Get Prepared Expo, I'll show you how. This is something I learned 40 years ago, and I'm delighted to teach you. What if you lose your job or your company shuts down? The plan is for you to be financially independent by starting your own business. Any business, whatever you like to do. I haven't had a job since the 1980s. Saturday and Sunday, March 28th and 29th, 150 seminars and exhibits, $8 online, $10 at the door. Cowan Civic Center, Lebanon, Missouri. GetPreparedExpo.com. 3 minutes without air, 3 days without water, 3 weeks without food. That's how long it takes to die. At the Get Prepared Expo, we'll have pallets of Berkey and ProPure water filtration systems at the lowest prices in the country. Berkey and ProPure water filtration systems, and we'll have the lowest prices in the country on top of the line Mountain House freeze-dried food with a 35-year shelf life. 150 seminars and exhibits, $8 online, $10 a day at the door. Saturday and Sunday, March 28th and 29th at the Get Prepared Expo. Cowan Civic Center, Lebanon, Missouri. GetPreparedExpo.com. The financial collapse of the United States is a mathematical certainty. There's no doubt about it. U.S. Air Force Captain and author John Regan will explain why this will happen and what you need to do about it right now. We're not trying to scare you, but the collapse is coming. This and 150 seminars and exhibits are included in your pass. $8 online and $10 a day at the door. Saturday and Sunday, March 28 and 29 at the Get Prepared Expo, Cowan Civic Center, Lebanon, Missouri. GetPreparedExpo.com. Ladies, for $450, you can buy a brand new AR-15 rifle kit at the Get Prepared Expo. Because this AR-15 is a kit, there's no paperwork and no registrations required. It's totally private and all 100% legal. AR-15 kits and seminars on how to assemble them. 150 seminars and exhibits, $8 online, $10 at the door. AR-15 kits, $450 at the GetPreparedExpo.com. Saturday and Sunday, March 28th and 29th, Cowan Civic Center, Lebanon, Missouri. How many? I'm Vincent Finelli of USAPrepares.com. As most of you know, I broadcast weekday mornings on GCN from 9 to 11. And I'm also a full-time farmer. Add to that mix the weekly meetups and the Get Prepared Expo, and this combination makes for a demanding schedule. On the farm, we raise grass-fed Black Angus cattle and provide them with the best variety of summer and fall grasses available. Our cattle are exposed to the extremes of weather, the toxins in the air, and the electromagnetic radiation that's all around us. So even the best grasses and food that we provide are not enough. Our cattle require minerals and supplements for strong health and resistance to disease. And so do we. For these reasons, my mother, our children, Mrs. Finelli, and I all take Longevity, Beyond Tangy Tangerine, De-Stress, Glucogel, and EFA+. USAPreparesTeam.com. And thank you for being in class today.
For over 5 years, you've been hearing about the Berkey guy, so you may know a few things about him. For example, you are well aware of the superior quality and effectiveness of Berkey water filters and accessories. But did you know the Berkeys have had independent lab tests done to prove just how effective they are? It's true, and he can email you the test results. Just visit GoBerkey.com. You may also know that the Berkey guy has helped tens of thousands of people get better prepared. Now here's something you may not know. GoBerkey.com has amazing specials and deals all the time on a wide variety of survival and preparedness products. Most ready to ship same day. Visit the Berkey guy at GoBerkey.com and be sure to click the red Products on Sale Now button. You can always call toll-free 877-886-3653. Again, that's 877-886-3653. GoBerkey.com, home of the Berkey guy.
John Regan, I went through the seminar schedule last night with Mrs. Finelli, and we spent hours working on it. And we're up to schedule version 4.62. And the reason I'm mentioning that is if you go to the website and if you've printed off a schedule and it's not version 4.62, it's not up to date. So there are some changes in times, changes in days, changes in who's speaking, and this is the most current schedule. So there are changes, and if you'd like to have the copy that's most current, just go to the website usaprepares.com or getpreparedexpo.com, and you'll have access to version 4.62. And this really has changed a lot of times. And I mentioned in the past that, when people will call us and say, who's speaking and when are they speaking, and I'll say, well, I really don't know. I mean, I've got it on the internet, but it's going to change. And it's going to keep changing probably until Wednesday afternoon or Thursday morning. And the reason is flights get canceled, flights get delayed, people get sick, family members get sick, catastrophes happen, and the schedule changes. For example, I mentioned Expo number 1. Derry Brownfield was one of our featured speakers, and he was delighted. He's on maybe 100 and something radio stations. I used to listen to him in Virginia on shortwave. He's a hero of mine. And I invited him to come to the Expo, and he typed a letter about a month before the Expo, typed it on his typewriter on brown stationery, and hand signed it, mailed it on a Friday afternoon, went home, and died. It was very, very sad, and of course I had tears in my eyes when I learned this, because he's a great guy. Then another Expo, Sheriff Richard Mack was going to be a key speaker. His mother died, and he didn't make it to the Expo. And Bill Whaley, his wife, had cancer, and she was not doing well, and he missed an Expo. And Matt Stein's wife had cancer, And she died. And he missed an expo. Joyce Riley has cancer. And I just got notified that she won't be making it to the expo. So, none of us wants any of these bad things to happen, but they do. And we never know when it's our turn. So I suggest that you make the best of every day. Enjoy it. Be kind. Do nice things. Help people. Whenever you can. And on that note, I don't know if there's going to be another expo. I was talking with one of our instructors last night, and I mentioned this. He said he heard me mention it on the radio. And I said, I'm not trying to say, look, hurry up because, and market this expo. That's not what I'm doing. I'm telling you for real. I don't know if there's going to be another expo. When I talked to John Regan just before the broadcast, the way it works is he and I will chat, a few minutes before we go on air. We'll say, hey, John, how's it going? And I know John Regan's voice. And it was not the same today. And he was very, very concerned. And we'll go into that in this broadcast. The clampdown by the governments, local, state, federal, on all of us is really getting oppressive. Fewer and fewer of us want to venture out from our homes. If you get in your vehicle and you travel, you're at great risk of being beaten up, tased, and maybe even executed by the police. These are my words. I don't want to leave the farm. I really don't. I had a tail light out on our trailer yesterday, and I can't believe I didn't get a ticket for not. There are plenty of lights on the trailer. There's like 10 lights on it. One of them had a burned out filament. The roads are so bumpy here that it's easy for that to happen. I thought for sure I was going to get a couple $100 ticket. And there was nothing I could do about it at the time. There may not be another expo. Not because we don't want it. Class who wants to pay less taxes and enjoy the same tax deductions that the rich take. At the Get Prepared Expo, I'll show you how. This is something I learned 40 years ago, and I'm delighted to teach you. What if you lose your job or your company shuts down? The plan is for you to be financially independent by starting your own business. Any business, whatever you like to do. I haven't had a job since the 1980s. Saturday and Sunday, March 28th and 29th, 150 seminars and exhibits, $8 online, $10 at the door. Cowan Civic Center, Lebanon, Missouri. GetPreparedExpo.com. 3 minutes without air, 3 days without water, 3 weeks without food. That's how long it takes to die. At the Get Prepared Expo, we'll have pallets of Berkey and ProPure water filtration systems at the lowest prices in the country. Berkey and ProPure water filtration systems, and we'll have the lowest prices in the country on top of the line Mountain House freeze-dried food with a 35-year shelf life. 150 seminars and exhibits, $8 online, $10 a day at the door. Saturday and Sunday, March 28th and 29th at the Get Prepared Expo. Cowan Civic Center, Lebanon, Missouri. GetPreparedExpo.com.
The human body is extraordinary. Despite all the stresses we inflict upon it, it still works hard to stay in balance. Thousands upon thousands of people rely upon Heart and Body Extract to help their body stay balanced. This excellent 100% natural herbal formula helps maintain healthy blood pressure levels, cleans arteries, promotes good circulation, balances cholesterol, and more. HB Extract, paired with healthy lifestyle choices like good nutrition and exercise, can give you a life free of pain, sickness, and fear. Recapture your youthful vitality and experience your body healing itself with the aid of HB Extract. It's extremely effective and it starts working in just days. Visit hbextract.com to learn more and to read scores of testimonials from satisfied customers. And we've never increased our price in over 10 years. That makes Heart and Body Extract as great a value now as it was the first day we sold it. A healthy heart is a happy heart. Call 866-295-5305 or go to hbextract.com.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-855-905-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. Say goodbye to the cable guy and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. Sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99, and there's no equipment to buy. You get free HD TV upgrade, a free DVR upgrade, and free professional installation. You control what you watch when you watch it. Record your favorite shows. Pause and rewind live TV. Even skip the commercials. Watch local channels too. At just $19.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV. Say goodbye to the cable guy. Cut costs and get more. 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV.
By now, you may have heard a bit about Bitcoins. But did you know Bitcoins are now over an $8.5 billion market? And did you know that over 65,000 businesses now accept Bitcoins? Listen, if you're already earning Bitcoins or trying to make money in the Bitcoin market, you've got to know bidbit.co. Why? Because bidbit.co is where you can easily receive Bitcoins by selling and auctioning off your own personal items or promote business products and services for Bitcoins. You heard right. Whether personal or business, you can now buy, sell, and auction your product and services quickly, easily, and securely for Bitcoin at bidbit.co, the first and only marketplace website to offer BidBit Escrow, a proprietary technology which gives buyers and sellers security and peace of mind because all transactions are protected. Start today. It's free to join, free to post, free to auction, and free to bid at bidbit.co. Buy, sell, bid, or auction everything Bitcoin. That's www.bidbit.co, bidbit.co.
The freeze-dry guy, a leader in the preparedness industry for 44 years, is closing his California warehouse. Don't miss out on this huge warehouse sale and receive discounts from 30 to 40% off on the finest Mountain House and Packaway brand freeze-dried and dehydrated foods for long-term food storage or even everyday use. Plus deep discounts on all in-stock survival gear. The freeze-dry guy is offering a wide selection of freeze-dried foods in number 10 cans and even individually packaged entrees. Remember, meats, vegetables, fruits, and long-range patrol rations are the main components for any long-term food storage. This is limited to stock on hand, so hurry and call 866-404-3663 or 530-798-4414. Remember, as always, free shipping to the lower 48 states. So hurry up and call 866-404-3663 or 530-798-4414. Remember, this is limited to stock on hand. The freeze-dry guy is your choice for survival food in an uncertain world.
Captain John Regan's with us. So, John, here's what happened. Over the weekend, we received a phone call from a man, and Mrs. Finelli was on the phone with him, and she said, well, hold on. I'll let you talk to Vincent. So the man said to me, first right out of the gate, how many exhibitors are you going to have? I thought, that's a heck of a way to start a conversation. And he was only on the phone with Mrs. Finelli for maybe 15 seconds. And I said, when he fired that at me, I decided that, I really didn't go to that class on how to win friends and influence people. So I said, so who are you? And he gave me his first name. He said, so how many exhibitors are you going to have? And I said, we have over 150 seminars and exhibits. He said, how many exhibits do you have? I said, why are you asking me this? Have you been to the website? And he said, yeah. And finally, he said, you charge people to come to your expo. If somebody comes to your expo and spends money with a vendor, you should let him in for free. All right, I thought for a second, and I said, so if you go to the movies and you buy some popcorn, you should get into the movies for free, right? Is that what you're saying? He said, well, you don't have to be such a jerk. Now, this conversation wasn't going very well. And so he said, did you hang up on me? And I said, no, I'm still here. And I said, but I'll tell you what, I'm going to save you some money. I'm going to save you $8. Don't come to the expo. You're not going to be happy. You're not going to like it. And so we parted ways. A few minutes later, his phone rang, and it was that guy. And he wanted to talk to the guy who, owns the expo. So I went into the studio, and I sat down, and he said, you know what? I think we got off on the wrong foot. I said, okay. He said, I've been to 2 really lousy expos. Travel across the country to go to them. They let us in for free. The seminars are lousy. The exhibits are lousy. They promise about 200 exhibits. They don't have anywhere near that number. They promise 120 seminars. They don't have anywhere near that number. I said, I know. But that's not us. I said, let's go through our schedule. And I explained to him what was going to happen with the meals on Friday night, the radio broadcast, the instructors, who they get to meet. He said, wow, I believe you. He said, I have a vehicle. It's an RV. It's a pusher. Holds a lot of people, and we're going to fill it up and come to the expo. And here's why he was taking the tone he took when he first called Mrs. Finelli. Because he had been lied to by other expos, overpromising, under-delivering. And he thought that, he'd been to 2 of them. He wanted to come to one to learn, but he didn't believe us. He didn't believe us because he'd been lied to twice. And I don't blame him. I don't blame him for being angry. Even though we had nothing to do with any of it, because there's so many lies out there. And the expos that he's talking about, they're related to the government. They're government-sponsored expos. FEMA, CERT, Ready.gov, Fire Corps. Those are the sponsors for the expo that he was talking about. So even with government money, even with letting in people for free, they still can't pull it off. And the reason I'm telling everyone all this, I'm a little frustrated. I'm a little frustrated with the lies. I'm frustrated because our money is being used against us, all of us, recklessly. And the reason I mentioned that this might be the last expo is because I don't know what's going to happen. I really don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with the grid. I don't know what's going to happen with nuclear radiation. But what I do want to happen is I do want everyone to be as prepared as possible. And in terms of exhibitors, we're probably going to have around 70. How does that compare to 200? Poorly. We don't have as many exhibitors as the other guys claim they have. But the other guys don't have 200. They have fewer than we do. They have fewer exhibitors than we do, but on paper, they look like they're bigger. They claim they have more seminars. We have about 100, actually over 100. It's in flux, but it's real close. The other guys don't have anything close to that. And the explanations of some of the seminars I've heard, or a guy will get up on stage and he'll say, "Hi, I'm Joe Dokes, and I'm really glad to be here, and I'm over there in that booth right there in the corner there, right over there. Thanks so much. Looking forward to seeing you. Thank you very much." That's it. That's a seminar. That's what I've been told. That's not a seminar. That's a poor attempt at comedy. John Regan, back to you.
Well, before we run out of time, because I doubt we're even going to get to spy tech today, I want to cover the preparedness article I came across. And it's Lessons from Biosphere 2. And this was an experiment where, scientists thought they could do a better job than nature. And they ran into lots of problems. And there are several lessons to pull out of here. One is, if you didn't have any problems with your crops, they grew what you thought they were going to, there were no losses, you could probably get by with half an acre of land to grow those crops on. However, when you start factoring in problems, you may need closer to 1.5 acres per person. Another problem they discovered is that when you're growing your own food, you use more calories than you do, sitting behind a desk. And the recommendation out of this article is basically 1 million calories per person per year, which works out to 2,740 calories a day. Another problem they had is the amount of fat in the diet. We aren't geared for a low-fat diet. Our bodies need fat to make hormones. The problem nowadays is we get this fake fat, the trans fat, and we have too much vegetable oil fat, omega-6 fat in our diet. We need a variety of fats, including saturated fat, and we need a significant amount of omega-3 fat, preferably from fish, if we can find some that's not contaminated with, mercury or radiation. And they also discovered that even with all the planning they had with this closed system, they still needed outside resources. So another takeaway is, don't expect to be able to do everything yourself. And that's something I've talked about. There's just too much as it is. And, about the only way you get to do everything yourself is, like these stories you read about, you got this hermit that lives by himself living off the land. And that's not a great lifestyle. So we need to get it together. And I just tell you, there's not much time to get ready. Vincent?
You were pretty bummed out when I talked to you this morning. And I don't know if you're going to share some of that, and for good reason. But you're talking about what happened in the biosphere. When I lived in Virginia, we could raise a cow on between 1 acre and 1.5 acres of farmland, pasture. That's how much grass it took to raise one cow. So let's say 10 to 15 acres, you could raise 10 cows. Well, here in Missouri, it's not quite the same. The land is not quite as fertile, or at least many parts of it in the Ozark Mountains. And it takes about 3 to 4 acres to raise one cow. So instead of 1 acre in Virginia, it takes 3 to 4 acres to raise a cow here in Missouri. And what you're talking about is absolutely true. So depending on conditions, it's a lot harder than we might think. And we talked about growing a garden. It is tough to grow a garden. It really is. It actually, no matter what anybody says, you just don't throw some seeds on the ground and walk away and pick fruit later. It doesn't happen. It actually takes water. It takes nutrition. It takes sunlight. It takes, depending on the system, you can have a weed-free garden if you use a raised garden with Len Pence's system, and if you do have a few weeds, it'd be like just take your fingers and just pull them out easily, gently. It's very, very easy to do. But raising food isn't all that easy. So if you think that you're a survivalist and you've never tried it, you need to try it. You need to learn how to grow a garden right now, this summer. This is when you need to do it, because there may not be a lot more opportunities to get the seeds. We've got a government that's really trying to limit our choices on everything. Imagine Imagine not having the shovels and the picks and the rakes and the hose that you need. I suggest you consider going to yard sales and getting those things right now. John Regan?
Yeah, definitely. And we'll pick up after the break.
Are you going to give us this bad news?
Sure, why not?
Class who wants to pay less taxes and enjoy the same tax deductions that the rich take. At the Get Prepared Expo, I'll show you how. This is something I learned 40 years ago, and I'm delighted to teach you. What if you lose your job or your company shuts down? The plan is for you to be financially independent by starting your own business. Any business, whatever you like to do. I haven't had a job since the 1980s. Saturday and Sunday, March 28th and 29th, 150 seminars and exhibits, $8 online, $10 at the door. Cowan Civic Center, Lebanon, Missouri. GetPreparedExpo.com. 3 minutes without air, 3 days without water, 3 weeks without food. That's how long it takes to die. At the Get Prepared Expo, we'll have pallets of Berkey and ProPure water filtration systems at the lowest prices in the country. Berkey and ProPure water filtration systems, and we'll have the lowest prices in the country on top of the line Mountain House freeze-dried food with a 35-year shelf life. 150 seminars and exhibits, $8 online, $10 a day at the door. Saturday and Sunday, March 28th and 29th at the Get Prepared Expo. Cowan Civic Center, Lebanon, Missouri. GetPreparedExpo.com. The financial collapse of the United States is a mathematical certainty. There's no doubt about it. U.S. Air Force Captain and author John Regan will explain why this will happen and what you need to do about it right now. We're not trying to scare you, but the collapse is coming. This and 150 seminars and exhibits are included in your pass. $8 online and $10 a day at the door. Saturday and Sunday, March 28 and 29 at the Get Prepared Expo, Cowan Civic Center, Lebanon, Missouri. GetPreparedExpo.com. Ladies, for $450, you can buy a brand new AR-15 rifle kit at the Get Prepared Expo. Because this AR-15 is a kit, there's no paperwork and no registrations required. It's totally private and all 100% legal. AR-15 kits and seminars on how to assemble them. 150 seminars and exhibits, $8 online, $10 at the door. AR-15 kits, $450 at the GetPreparedExpo.com. Saturday and Sunday, March 28th and 29th, Cowan Civic Center, Lebanon, Missouri. Helmet.
The freeze-dry guy, leader in the preparedness industry for 44 years, is closing his California warehouse. Don't miss out on this huge warehouse sale and receive discounts from 30 to 40% off on the finest Mountain House and Packaway brand freeze-dried and dehydrated foods for long-term food storage or even everyday use. Plus deep discounts on all in-stock survival gear. The freeze-dry guy is offering a wide selection of freeze-dried foods in number 10 cans and even individually packaged entrees. Remember, meats, vegetables, fruits, and long-range patrol rations are the main components for any long-term food storage. This is limited to stock on hand, so hurry and call 866-404-3663 or 530-798-4414. Remember, as always, free shipping to the lower 48 states. So hurry up and call 866-404-3663 or 530-798-4414. Remember, this is limited to stock on hand. The freeze-dry guy is your choice for survival food in an uncertain world.
The human body is extraordinary. Despite all the stresses we inflict upon it, it still works hard to stay in balance. Thousands upon thousands of people rely upon Heart and Body Extract to help their body stay balanced. This excellent 100% natural herbal formula helps maintain healthy blood pressure levels, cleans arteries, promotes good circulation, balances cholesterol, and more. HB Extract, paired with healthy lifestyle choices like good nutrition and exercise, can give you a life free of pain, sickness, and fear. Recapture your youthful vitality and experience your body healing itself with the aid of HB Extract. It's extremely effective and it starts working in just days. Visit hbextract.com to learn more and to read scores of testimonials from satisfied customers. And we've never increased our price in over 10 years. That makes Heart and Body Extract as great a value now as it was the first day we sold it. A healthy heart is a happy heart. Call 866-295-5305 or go to hbextract.com.
Gold isn't for you? Ted Anderson, president of Midas Resources, one of the world's premier gold and precious metal investing firms. I get it. You wouldn't buy gold if you believed that the government is doing a great job, that the Fed will stop handing out trillions of dollars like bailout candy, that Social Security would be there for you. That's not what's happening. You might even pass on gold if the stimulus package wouldn't fuel inflation, or that the dollar wouldn't lose value, or that your retirement would be secure. If all looks rosy to you, then now is not the time to buy gold. For the realist, there have never been more sobering reasons to diversify with gold. Since 2001, the U.S. dollar index has tanked 30% while gold has risen 300%. Right now, savvy investors are adding gold to their portfolios. You should too. Find out what they know. Call us and I'll send you 10 reasons why gold will do very well, free. 800-686-2237. 800-686-2237. That's 800-686-2237.
So, a father, a daughter, and the daughter's boyfriend were in their vehicle, and the traffic was stopped outside of Annapolis, Maryland. Traffic was stopped on the highway. And a cop slams into him. Kills the father, the daughter, and the daughter's boyfriend in a horrific crash. Off-duty cop. What the heck's going on? Why do we have so many problems with police killing people? With their vehicles, with their guns, tasing us? What's going on? John Regan, you had some really disturbing news when we first started, before we went on the air this morning. You want to give us a hint about what happened?
Yeah, I've been public with the Financial State of the Union for a little over 3 years now. And when I've done the presentation, people want to know, how long do we have? And the answer ranges, because if they wanted to raise interest rates, say up to even just 3 to 5%, which is what we would have considered more of a normal interest rate, that's enough to set off derivatives and crash the bond market. And then they could do that at any time. However, we have structural problems with our economy, basically known as too much debt. And my answer tended to be, I hope we have 2 to 3 years in order to get ready. And that's 2 to 3 years of normal times, and here we are 3 years later. Well, I'd talked about before how I'd taken the model of our income based on IRS tax stats, government spending, and interest on our national debt, and ran those at current growth rates, and discovered that those cross at 2027, 12 years from now. And obviously, things can't last that long. Well, I updated the model a little bit. And I guess a little bit more background. Normally, Vincent and I only get a chance to talk once a week, just a few minutes before the show. Vincent called Thursday evening. I don't know if he even knew then. I was in a state of shock because I just run these numbers a couple of hours before you called. And I modified the debt service and the income to include a little bit more information. And based on that and all of the charts that I see, we may have 2 to 3 years, but no longer in normal times. And I don't think I can present this on the radio. I think it's got to be in person or with a video. But if you look historically, there's typically about a 3-year period from when things go unhinged to the point of final collapse. And everything I have is saying that we have reached that unhinging point. And from here on out, the pain will get greater at an accelerated rate. Vincent?
John, I can only put an exclamation point on this because I've been saying for months and months now, I can't get over how much parts cost, parts to fix things. Yesterday, I decided to buy something that we needed at the farm. Missouri's pretty rocky. And I guess you could say we're in the grass raising business. We raise fescue for the cows to eat. That's what we do. And I'll tell you about an experience I had relating to the farm. That happened to me yesterday. I was absolutely in shock. And I explained this to the other party. I'll explain what this is all about when we come back. It'll take me about 3 minutes or 2 minutes to explain this scenario. But John Reagan's absolutely correct. I'm seeing the evidence of it. He's talking about it on a macro scale. I'm seeing it in a micro scale as well. Captain John Regan, USAPrepares.com. I'm Vin Finelli. Get Prepared Expo, 3 days away. Starts this Friday in Lebanon, Missouri. Tickets online. GetPreparedExpo.com.
We all know that Berkey water purification systems are the most trusted name in water filtration. As an authorized Berkey dealer for over 6 years and serving thousands of satisfied customers, the Berkey Guy offers amazing specials for Berkey water filtration systems. The Berkey Light systems include a set of self-sterilizing and recleanable black purification elements that purify water by removing chlorine, pathogenic bacteria, cysts, and parasites to non-detectable levels and remove harmful chemicals such as herbicides and pesticides. Order the Berkey Light system today, complete with 2 black Berkey elements for only $231, and the Berkey Guy will ship your order free of charge. With the purchase of a Berkey Light, the Berkey Guy is also offering a set of fluoride and arsenic filters for only $39.99. That's over 30% off the retail price. Call the Berkey Guy at 1-877-886-3653. That's 1-877-886-3653. Or order online at GoBerkey.com. That's GoBerkey.com today.
You pick up the receiver with your heart racing and sweat dripping from your forehead. You finally muster the courage to dial the number to call into your favorite talk radio show. It rings once, twice, and then...
Hello, it's GCN. What's your name and the state you're calling from?
Surprised you got through, you squeak out.
Jason from Minnesota.
Please hold.
As you patiently wait for your turn, you begin to daydream about being a famous talk radio host and what it would be like to have your own show.
Jason from Minnesota, you're up.
Millions of loyal listeners worldwide waiting to call and talk to you.
Caller, are you there?
Cheering crowds surround you, calling out your name.
Jason! Jason! Going once, twice. Okay, we gotta move on to the next caller.
You blew it.
Huh? Wait, no!
Interact with the host you're listening to right now, online at GCNlive.com. Click on the community link. Engage with other listeners. Ask questions. Start debates. Don't agree with the host? Let them know. Be a part of the community at GCNlive.com. The Genesis Communications Network is one of America's premier broadcasters of captivating talk radio. We thank you for listening. Now, just imagine, there are thousands of people who are just as passionate about radio as you are. But what you may not realize is how easy and affordable it is to advertise with us. Radio commercials for your business could be heard on hundreds of radio stations across the U.S. every day. We can help you by creating an effective radio advertising campaign for your company. From script writing to producing your commercial, just like the one you're listening to right now. No other network provides the level of customer service we do. When it comes to radio advertising, we are your one-stop shop. And no matter how big or small your business is, we can help. Email us at advertise@gcnlive.com, and an experienced advertising executive will help you take the first step towards driving more customers to your business or website. Advertise@gcnlive.com. Easy, affordable, effective.
Everyone all set? Cocked? Locked? Here we go. Hour number 2 of USAPrepares.com. So Captain John Regan and I were talking about the collapse, and I mentioned that I'm sure what happened over the weekend. So John Regan, I decided to buy a tax deduction this weekend. And in Missouri, we have a lot of rocks, and as you know, I'm a grass farmer. So what I do is I mow these fields with a hay mower, and this hay mower cuts the grass off at about 2.5, 3, 4 inches above the ground. So it cuts pretty close, and it has these small cutters that turn at very, very high speed. And as I drive with this mower over the grass, the mower hangs out off the edge of off the side of the tractor, the right side of the tractor, and it cuts about 9 feet wide. It's a really expensive mower. One of these mowers is about $10,000. And they have these little cutters that are maybe 3 inches, 4 inches long that spin at really high speeds. And when they hit a rock, they just get destroyed. And I'm just sick of hitting these rocks. And the mower is so expensive to replace the parts that I've decided that I'm going to push these rocks in the ground. So at this time of the year, if you have a machine that can push the rocks into the soft ground, the other equipment will last a lot longer. It won't get beat up as much. So I decided to make this investment for the farm, buy a tax deduction. And what this thing is it's a roller. And I'm sure you've seen these hand rollers that they used to use in the 1920s, 1930s, maybe even the 40s. And it'd be like a 55-gallon drum that's flat across the outside surface, and you fill it with water and you push this along your front lawn and your back lawn. It just kind of smooths out the lawn. Well, there's no way we could do that by hand. It's just too much ground to do that with. So I bought a roller. And really what this thing is, it's a homemade roller. It's a propane tank, about 300 gallons. And it has an axle shaft through it. It's 7.5 feet long. And there's this heavy frame that allows you to pull it behind a tractor. So you need about a 40 or 50 horsepower tractor to pull this thing. You fill it with water, and by the time you're done, it weighs 3,000 pounds. It's really heavy. It's about 1/4 inch steel. And it just rolls those rocks, pushes them right into the ground so they don't stick up, so you don't beat up the rest of the equipment. I priced a new one on the internet. It was $4,000. Now, there's not a lot of engineering that goes into this thing. It's a cylinder that you fill with water, a tank that has an axle running through it, and you just pull it. That's all it is. I found one for less than $1,000 used. It's probably built in the 1960s, the 1970s, and I decided to buy this tax deduction for less than $1,000. But what I'm saying is, things have gotten so expensive that this used piece of gear that at one time was a propane tank that had been modified by somebody very nicely modified, but it's still from the 60s or 70s. So it's, 50, 40 years old, and it's been used all that time. So it's not even new, and it was about $1,000. That's one item. And the man had some weights for the front end of an international tractor. Mrs. Finelli has an international harvester tractor model 385. It's 40 horsepower, and it's a little light in the front. So if we put a bale of hay on the back, it tends to lift the front end, sometimes even off the ground. And it's a little disconcerting to Mrs. Finelli when that happens. So I wanted to buy her some weights, and these are 100-pound weights. Think of it like barbell weights, except they're shaped kind of square, about as thick as a barbell weight, and you hang them on the front of the tractor. The guy had them used, and they were $85 each if I bought 15 of them. I don't need 15 of them. I only need like 2. So they were $100 a piece if I only wanted 2. And then the bracket to put I'm talking about 2 pieces, like 2 barbell weights, $100 a piece. And then I needed a bracket to hang them on. And I looked that up on the internet. That's $235. He had a used fuel pump that I bought that would transfer fuel out of a farm fuel tank. A new one is $434. This is a little tiny pump that goes on top of a tank. You plug it into an outlet, has a hose and a dispensing nozzle. A new one is $434. A headlight for our John Deere tractor, John Deere model 1070. It's a Japanese tractor, painted green, has a John Deere logo on it. A headlight with just two lenses. It's probably 2.5 inches tall, maybe 18 inches wide. $185. A grill, just this screen grill with a metal frame around it for the John Deere 1070 tractor is $248. Now this isn't chrome. It's nothing exotic. It's just a piece of stamped screen with a metal frame around it. $248. 18 by 20 inches. I'm estimating. What I'm saying, John Regan, is prices for parts are absolutely sky high. So I'm putting an exclamation point on what you're saying. Prices are going up, up, up. Now gasoline, we may be lulled into complacency by looking at the low price of gasoline or the relatively low price. However, everything else seems to be going up.
And in addition to those prices going up, you may not even have the company to buy from anymore. And I just had an experience on that myself. I'll go ahead and make the announcement now. We're going to be moving. So Studio D will be relocating. And up until last week, there was potential that that was even going to prevent me from getting to the expo. And the good news on this is, once we get our deposit back from this move, we had planned on getting some new glasses. And the doctor that we went to down here had these Izon brand lenses where basically you go in and they map your eye. And this is not, glasses while you wait for an hour. They have to send off, and it takes a week to 2 weeks to get them back. The glasses are manufactured specifically for your eyes, and the acuity of those glasses are the best I ever experienced. Well, I started looking that up and found out that company that makes those Izon lenses went bankrupt in 2012. I can't get those anymore. So, yes, prices are going to be going up, but also availability may be non-existent. Don't put it off.
You're absolutely right. That's why I took the 3 or 4 hours yesterday to buy this roller, because what I'm seeing is when I hit the rocks in the field, some of these rocks are the size of bowling balls. Some of them are smaller. Some of them are the size of a large grapefruit, and they're regular shaped. And when I hit them with a mower blade, they beat up the equipment. And because it's so rough on the equipment, I just can't depend on being able to get the parts for the equipment. So I invested almost $1,000 in getting a machine to extend the life expectancy of the other equipment that we have, meaning the mowers and the hay rake and the baler, so we won't hit as many rocks. And all of this thinking, John, is for the long term. All of it's for the long term. And when I looked at this piece of gear, the first thing I thought is, okay, now where am I going to get spare bearings for this piece of equipment? Because that's probably what's going to fail first. So I need to get spare bearings, because I don't know if I'm going to be able to get bearings. And for maybe $20 worth of bearings, I may have a piece of equipment that would become totally useless. So I'm looking at all kinds of spare parts to prolong the life expectancy of the equipment. I'm looking at filters. I'm looking at what kind of oil to use. I'm looking at fan belts, drive belts, cutter blades, everything that we need in order to keep our farm operational in business, because I don't know if I'm going to be able to get what we need at the time we might need it. So I need to get it before we need it, and I need to anticipate what those items are going to be. So I need to take money from savings and put it into spare parts that I think we're going to need. But I'm not really sure. That's what life around this farm is like, and that's why it's so difficult to be a farmer today. And I'm hearing that prices of cows may go down. I don't know. They may go down. And that would be devastating for the farmers. Absolutely devastating. Now, right now, it's devastating for the consumers, because the price of beef is sky high, record high. John, the cost of parts is out of control. The cost of repairing something is out of control. I was talking to John Dollarhite about he needed a new axle because someone ran into his truck in his parking lot. It's a terrible situation. Someone just crashed his truck was parked. Someone just banged into it. And the price of a rear axle for a truck used can be $2,500. That's not installed. That's, you go pick it up with another truck and then you get it installed. The price of installation is unbelievable. I talked to a farmer about replacing a clutch on a tractor. It takes a day. Okay, so you figure 10 hours. 10 hours at $100 an hour. It's $1,000 labor to replace a clutch. That's without the clutch. So you put $300 or $400 into the clutch. Now you're up to $1,400 to replace the clutch on an old tractor. But to replace the tractor is $35,000, $40,000, $50,000, $60,000, $70,000. So that's not doable. But how is it possible that the cost of replacing a clutch is roughly a third the cost of the value of the tractor when it's used? You take a $3,500 tractor and it's $1,400 to replace the clutch on it. Things are out of control. John Regan?
And wasn't that long ago in America you had repair shops?
That's exactly right. Now you want to take your tractor to get a clutch put on it? You're going to have to hire somebody for a couple $100 to take your tractor to the guy, wherever he may be, to change the clutch. More bad news when we come back. Class, who wants to pay less taxes and enjoy the same tax deductions that the rich take? At the Get Prepared Expo, I'll show you how. This is something I learned 40 years ago, and I'm delighted to teach you. What if you lose your job or your company shuts down? The plan is for you to be financially independent by starting your own business. Any business, whatever you like to do. I haven't had a job since the 1980s. Saturday and Sunday, March 28th and 29th, 150 seminars and exhibits, $8 online, $10 at the door. Cowan Civic Center, Lebanon, Missouri. GetPreparedExpo.com. 3 minutes without air, 3 days without water, 3 weeks without food. That's how long it takes to die. At the Get Prepared Expo, we'll have pallets of Berkey and ProPure water filtration systems at the lowest prices in the country. Berkey and ProPure water filtration systems, and we'll have the lowest prices in the country on top of the line Mountain House freeze-dried food with a 35-year shelf life. 150 seminars and exhibits, $8 online, $10 a day at the door. Saturday and Sunday, March 28th and 29th at the Get Prepared Expo. The United States is a mathematic. There's no doubt about it. U.S. Air Force Captain and author John Regan will explain why this will happen and what you need to do about it right now. We're not trying to scare you, but the collapse is coming. This and 150 seminars and exhibits are included in your pass. $8 online and $10 a day at the door. Saturday and Sunday, March 28 and 29 at the Get Prepared Expo, Cowan Civic Center, Lebanon, Missouri. GetPreparedExpo.com. Ladies, for $450, you can buy a brand new AR-15 rifle kit at the Get Prepared Expo. Because this AR-15 is a kit, there's no paperwork and no registrations required. It's totally private and all 100% legal. AR-15 kits and seminars on how to assemble them. 150 seminars and exhibits, $8 online, $10 at the door. AR-15 kits, $450 at the GetPreparedExpo.com. Saturday and Sunday, March 28th and 29th, Cowan Civic Center, Lebanon, Missouri. I'm Vincent Finelli of USAPrepares.com. As most of you know, I broadcast weekday mornings on GCN from 9 to 11. And I'm also a full-time farmer. Add to that mix the weekly meetups and the Get Prepared Expo, and this combination makes for a demanding schedule. On the farm, we raise grass-fed Black Angus cattle and provide them with the best variety of summer and fall grasses available. Our cattle are exposed to the extremes of weather, the toxins in the air, and the electromagnetic radiation that's all around us. So even the best grasses and food that we provide are not enough. Our cattle require minerals and supplements for strong health and resistance to disease. And so do we. For these reasons, my mother, our children, Mrs. Finelli, and I all take Longevity, Beyond Tangy Tangerine, De-Stress, Glucogel, and EFA Plus. USAPreparesTeam.com. And thank you for being in class today.
For over 5 years, you've been hearing about the Berkey guy, so you may know a few things about him. For example, you are well aware of the superior quality and effectiveness of Berkey water filters and accessories. But did you know the Berkeys have had independent lab tests done to prove just how effective they are? It's true, and he can email you the test results. Just visit GoBerkey.com. You may also know that the Berkey guy has helped tens of thousands of people get better prepared. Now here's something you may not know. GoBerkey.com has amazing specials and deals all the time on a wide variety of survival and preparedness products. Most ready to ship same day. Visit the Berkey Guy at GoBerkey.com and be sure to click the red Products on Sale Now button. You can always call toll-free 877-886-3653. Again, that's 877-886-3653. GoBerkey.com, home of the Berkey Guy.
So I mentioned that this cop crashed into a stopped car on the highway, driven by a 28-year-old cop from Tacoma, Maryland, a police officer. His name is Travis ALA. He smashed his Nissan Xterra SUV into a Toyota Corolla and killed the 3 occupants. It is a departmental SUV. So I've got a couple questions. This guy was off duty. What's he doing driving a departmental vehicle? Number 1. Number 2, why did he smash into traffic that was stopped on the highway? That's the next question. Next question. Who approved the department using a Nissan vehicle? Who approved that? Why aren't we buying American vehicles? Someone needs to explain that to me. Is that so they blend in better? So we can hide better and snipe better? Is that what this is all about? John Regan, you've got more news for us?
Well, let's get to, I've got a section called governance, and most of this is related to our civil government, one's church government. And the first article I have up there is called Curses. And this is one of those tidbits that's supposed to entice you to buy the upcoming biography that's being released on Michelle Obama. And it sure didn't work that way for me. It talks about how as a 10-year-old that she lost out on being awarded best camper because she couldn't stop cursing. And from what I hear what's going on in the White House nowadays, apparently that hasn't changed much. And yeah, I don't think we talked about it, but recently, she and Barry both had television appointments out on the West Coast same day, and they took different planes because apparently she can't stand to be in the same plane with that guy, which I guess I can't really blame her for. I don't know if I'd want to be in the same plane with him either.
Well, okay, John, I don't like Barry any more than anybody else, right? Okay. Actually, I despise him. I despise his actions. Well, I despise her too. I really do. She looks angry all the time. And I have a feeling she is angry a lot of the time. So I can only see her when there are pictures that are taken of her. But she doesn't look all that pleasant. She doesn't look like a first lady that I would like to see. She doesn't have the smile, the warmth. She seems really cold to me. She seems angry. And I had an opportunity to see her in Springfield, Missouri as a broadcaster. I could have applied for permission to be in her graces. And I started the application online, and I thought, have I lost my mind? Why would I want to expose myself to that? What am I gonna see? I'm gonna see a teleprompter. I'm gonna see a choreographed event at Walmart where they've thrown out all the defective looking produce that we would be buying and placed the best specimens of produce where she's going to talk about how to eat healthy. And I just hit the X and deleted the tab and got out of there, and I decided I just wasn't going to become part of it. And I didn't want to be in some sniper's scope on the top of a building in case they said, that's the guy right there with the blue jeans, the combat boots, and the blazer. That's him. That's the guy you want to shoot. I didn't want to be in the crosshairs. So I said, forget it. I don't want anything to do with these guys. So Michelle Obama cursing, Hillary Clinton cursing, Bill Clinton cursing, Joe Biden cursing. We all know that they do it. They're not setting the example for America. And John, when people come on this broadcast, when they come on the first time, I tell them that there aren't very many rules, but I have some. We're ladies and gentlemen, and we don't use profanity. And some broadcasters use profanity. And some of the guests use profanity. And some of the callers use profanity. And I object to it. I object to it. And if you want to see it, just come to the Get Prepared Expo and use profanity out loud. See how long you last. Not very long. You'll be thrown out. There's no reason for it. We're falling down. We're falling down. Let's not do that. Class, who wants to pay less taxes and enjoy the same tax deductions that the rich take? At the Get Prepared Expo, I'll show you how. This is something I learned 40 years ago, and I'm delighted to teach you. What if you lose your job or your company shuts down? The plan is for you to be financially independent by starting your own business. Any business, whatever you like to do. I haven't had a job since the 1980s. Saturday and Sunday, March 28th and 29th, 150 seminars and exhibits, $8 online, $10 at the door. Cowan Civic Center, Lebanon, Missouri. GetPreparedExpo.com. 3 minutes without air, 3 days without water, 3 weeks without food. That's how long it takes to die. At the Get Prepared Expo, we'll have pallets of Berkey and ProPure water filtration systems at the lowest prices in the country. Berkey and ProPure water filtration systems, and we'll have the lowest prices in the country on top of the line Mountain House freeze-dried food with a 35-year shelf life. 150 seminars and exhibits, $8 online, $10 a day at the door. Saturday and Sunday, March 28th and 29th at the Get Prepared Expo. Cowan Civic Center, Lebanon, Missouri. GetPreparedExpo.com.
Farmers keep their livestock lean and healthy with a mineral-rich diet. Before market, they cut off minerals, leaving them to crave high-calorie grains. If weight control is this easy, why prescribe surgery for humans? Avoid 900 different diseases by getting 90 essential nutrients. Check out sonsoflibertyteam.com, order your Healthy Start Pack, and get your 90 for life, or call 855-301-TEAM. Essential, not optional. 90 for life at sonsoflibertyteam.com or 855-301-TEAM. That's 855-301-TEAM.
Hi, this is Ted Anderson. Have you ever wondered why banks, stockbrokers, investment advisors won't talk about gold IRAs? They've been available since 1986, yet the financial industry won't recognize the value of gold for your retirement. Gold has outperformed paper investments, yet no word about IRAs. If you would like to have gold for your retirement, call 800-686-2237. Don't get left behind by rising inflation and low returns. Call 800-686-2237. Secure your future and call 1-800-686-2237.
We live in a complicated society. Stressful issues are always popping up. Have you ever been treated unfairly by someone? Have you ever been overcharged for a repair? Have you ever signed a contract or a document? Worried about identity theft? How many times have you been in those unique situations where you just wanted to call an attorney to find out if you're right or wrong, or what your legal rights are? But every time you think about calling an attorney, what do you think about first? That's right. Who do you call, and how much will it cost? Our friends at Legal Shield have found a solution. With a nationwide network of 6,900 attorneys who average over 19 years of experience, Legal Shield's law firms take over 40,000 calls per week helping their members. For less than $20 per month, you can have access to Legal Shield on everything from the trivial to the traumatic. Let Legal Shield stand up for your rights at lsprotection.com. That's lsprotection.com. Or call 855-340-SAVE. 855-340-7283.
Results will vary from case to case.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-855-905-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. Say goodbye to the cable guy and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. Sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99, and there's no equipment to buy. You get free HD TV upgrade, a free DVR upgrade, and free professional installation. You control what you watch when you watch it. Record your favorite shows. Pause and rewind live TV. Even skip the commercials. Watch local channels too. At just $19.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV. Say goodbye to the cable guy. Cut costs and get more. 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV.
By now, you may have heard a bit about Bitcoins. But did you know Bitcoins are now over an $8.5 billion market? And did you know that over 65,000 businesses now accept Bitcoins? Listen, if you're already earning Bitcoins or trying to make money in the Bitcoin market, you've got to know bidbit.co. Why? Because bidbit.co is where you can easily receive Bitcoins by selling and auctioning off your own personal items or promote business products and services for Bitcoins. You heard right. Whether personal or business, you can now buy, sell, and auction your products and services quickly, easily, and securely for Bitcoin at bidbit.co, the first and only marketplace website to offer BidBit Escrow, a proprietary technology which gives buyers and sellers security and peace of mind because all transactions are protected. Start today. It's free to join, free to post, free to auction, and free to bid at bidbit.co. Buy, sell, bid, or auction everything Bitcoin. That's www.bidbit.co. Bidbit.co.
Headline of the Drudge Report says, imagine a president who stands with Israel. Let's imagine a president and Congress that stand with these United States of America. Wouldn't that be nice? I've been consuming Earthworks brand diatomaceous earth. I'm at the half a teaspoon level. I'll tell you what, I feel a lot more energy. Now, I'm not recommending that anyone does it. I'm just saying this is what I have done. Diatomaceous earth. And, we're going to have, we have cases of it. And we'll sell it at the lowest price in the country at the Get Prepared Expo, about $10. You can buy it and take it with you at the Get Prepared Expo. Earthworks. Diatomaceous earth. John Regan, what's next?
Well, in talking about what to expect with our financial situation, one of the signposts is increasing capital controls. And the next two articles are about that. The first, the headline is Justice Department rolls out an early form of capital controls in America. You are probably already aware that if you have cash transactions of $10,000, the bank has to report it. If you're suspected of structuring your deposits to get around that, then you have even more problems. Well, now the Justice Department wants any kind of suspicious activity reported. And if you go up and request cash, which could be an amount significantly less than the $10,000, and they ask you what's it for, and you tell them it's none of their bleeping business, that could earn you a visit. And it's not just here. In France, they're now limiting cash transaction to 1,000 euros. So we are seeing more capital controls coming, and I expect we'll see much more before this year is over. Vincent?
Okay, so let's put this in perspective. So yesterday, I had the option of paying cash for this used piece of farm equipment that I bought, about $1,000, or I could have written a check, right? This guy, this individual seller is certainly not going to take a credit card. So as a farmer, I have a need to use cash. It's something that I think is perfectly acceptable and normal. And by the way, it's not like I'm going outside the system. I don't print this stuff up. I use their printed currency. I use the currency that the government has made available for our use. I earn it and I spend it. And I object to the fact that they want to have controls, more controls on what I do with it. And they want to, in this drug thing, they say under the guise of protecting us from drug trafficking that they want to know where our cash is going. I object to the banks. I object to the banks monitoring us because they've been told to do so. Why don't the banks say, no, we're not doing it. We're not doing it. As a matter of fact, if you pressure us into doing it, we're going to report you and we're going to have a sign out in front of our business as to who is doing it and your names. I really object to it. You know, it's easy. It's really easy to transact $10,000 on a farm. If I sold 10 cows, I'd be well over $10,000. Well over 10,000. So if some farmer came up to me and he said, "Hey, Vinny, I really like those cows. They're really nice. I'll bet you I like them more than you do. And I'll prove it to you. Here's X amount of money each. Would you sell them to me?" And let's say I do that transaction in cash. Is that suspicious? All right, well, let's take it to the next level. Let's say I take that, and let's make it $10,000. Let's say I take that $10,000 cash and I go, "Geez, I don't want to keep it here at the farmhouse. Something could happen. Somebody could come in here and take it. I'll bring it to the bank. I'll be real stupid. I'll bring it to the bank. I'll trust them to keep my cash because I don't trust myself, right?" So I bring it to the bank and they go, "Where'd you get the money, Vinny?" I go, "Well, this guy came by and he liked my cows. He was driving by and he said, I'd like to buy those over there. I'll pay you in cash." And I said, "Oh, okay." So I took his cash, he took my cows, and here I am with these pieces of paper that you claim are worth $10,000. Now the bank wants to know where did I get all the cash, right? But it'd be okay if the guy had a credit card transaction with me, right? That's all above board. But cash, no. Ron Paul had a fundraiser in Virginia, in Richmond, Virginia, and the guy had about $4,000 and change in a box, and he got stopped by the government. They want to know where he got the cash. He said, "I was at a Ron Paul fundraiser." They stopped him. And the only reason he didn't get arrested for having cash is because he had a phone that recorded the entire interaction. They were really rough on him. And that's what we need to do. We need to have video and audio recorders with us at all times. John, I don't think dealing in cash is suspicious. But the government seems to think it is. The government wants to know everything about us. Because if we deal in cash, there's privacy. And I suggest to all of those who are in class today that you use cash whenever you can. Whenever you can. Because if you stop using cash, there won't be any more cash. What are your thoughts on that, John?
Well, it's all part of the plan of control, so why should we be surprised?
Yeah. Well, I object to their controls. You guys are defective. And class, here, there is a vulgar, obscene series on Netflix. It's called House of Cards. It's supposedly fiction. I think it's a documentary. I think it's a documentary on Congress and the presidency and the aides and the support staff. It is a series that portrays the lying, the backstabbing, the individual greed, and the side switching and the lack of loyalty by everybody, whether they're married to each other or not. It's every man, woman for him or herself. Personal gain, power, greed. It's a series about that. It's vulgar, and I object to the vulgarity. But you know what? I think it's a documentary. I think it's the way these people talk. Like Michelle, having a cursing phase in her life. I don't think she's outgrown it. That's my opinion. I can't prove it, but I doubt she's outgrown it. I mean, you've heard Joe Biden use profanity on national media. The Vice President of the United States can't keep his language in check. Why? Because he uses profanity. He wouldn't have to keep it in check if he didn't use it, but he uses it. And it slips out. Oh, it slips out. It slips out because that's who he is. Wow, I can't believe it. I'm really angry. I'm really disappointed. I'm really outraged. I'm really outraged at people who are supposedly setting examples for how we should behave. And they're pathetic. I'm talking about Congress. I'm talking about whatever happened to America first. Whatever happened to these United States of America first. What about protecting our interests? We've been sold out by the Clintons. That's why we have so many problems. This free trade thing, how's it working? We've successfully eliminated jobs. And where's Clinton? How come the media isn't saying, hey, Bill, you sold us out? That giant sucking sound that H. Ross Perot talked about? It's a gale force. It's wiped us out. Businesses are going out of business at record rates. Just look around at the city or hamlet near you. You see any for rent signs, for lease signs, for sale signs? Those used to be businesses that employed people. And you don't see the soup lines because they're on credit cards and debit cards. We have a meetup tonight at Jimmy's Egg, 4:45. We're going to be sharing preparedness tips and tricks among ourselves. We're going to talk about what works, what doesn't work, things that we've learned, how to save money, how to stay afloat. And I'll be passing out some Get Prepared Expo tickets and signs. Back to you, John Regan.
Let me talk about the last three articles I have in governance, because I imagine we're going to end the show with the shower with the EPA. We've got news where Presbyterian USA has, chosen to vote God out by accepting homosexual marriage. And I've talked about this before. It really goes beyond that. It's a matter of sexual immorality. And when you look at consensual relations in the Bible, the only relations I find that were not listed as a sin was consensual relations between a man and a woman that was either his wife or concubine. If you have any scripture other than that, I'd like to know about it. I've got a contact tab on my website, or you can email me at john@financialstatement.com. And get to the other two articles when we come back.
And that's exactly what I'm talking about, John. We got Barney Frank, right? Barney Frank in Washington. He's a homosexual. He's leading by example. It's out of control. Class, who wants to pay less taxes and enjoy the same tax deductions that the rich take? At the Get Prepared Expo, I'll show you how. This is something I learned 40 years ago, and I'm delighted to teach you. What if you lose your job or your company shuts down? The plan is for you to be financially independent by starting your own business. Any business, whatever you like to do. I haven't had a job since the 1980s. Saturday and Sunday, March 28th and 29th, 150 seminars and exhibits, $8 online, $10 at the door. Cowan Civic Center, Lebanon, Missouri. GetPreparedExpo.com. 3 minutes without air, 3 days without water, 3 weeks without food. That's how long it takes to die. At the Get Prepared Expo, we'll have pallets of Berkey and ProPure water filtration systems at the lowest prices in the country. Berkey and ProPure water filtration systems, and we'll have the lowest prices in the country on top of the line Mountain House freeze-dried food with a 35-year shelf life. 150 seminars and exhibits, $8 online, $10 a day at the door. Saturday and Sunday, March 28th and 29th at the Get Prepared Expo. Cowan Civic Center, Lebanon, Missouri. GetPreparedExpo.com. The financial collapse of the United States is a mathematical certainty. There's no doubt about it. U.S. Air Force Captain and author John Regan will explain why this will happen and what you need to do about it right now. We're not trying to scare you, but the collapse is coming. This and 150 seminars and exhibits are included in your pass. $8 online and $10 a day at the door. Saturday and Sunday, March 28 and 29 at the Get Prepared Expo, Cowan Civic Center, Lebanon, Missouri. GetPreparedExpo.com. Ladies, for $450, you can buy a brand new AR-15 rifle kit at the Get Prepared Expo. Because this AR-15 is a kit, there's no paperwork and no registrations required. It's totally private and all 100% legal. AR-15 kits and seminars on how to assemble them. 150 seminars and exhibits, $8 online, $10 at the door. AR-15 kits, $450 at the GetPreparedExpo.com. Saturday and Sunday, March 28th and 29th, Cowan Civic Center, Lebanon, Missouri.
The human body is extraordinary. Despite all the stresses we inflict upon it, it still works hard to stay in balance. Thousands upon thousands of people rely upon Heart and Body Extract to help their body stay balanced. This excellent 100% natural herbal formula helps maintain healthy blood pressure levels, cleans arteries, promotes good circulation, balances cholesterol, and more. HB Extract, paired with healthy lifestyle choices like good nutrition and exercise, can give you a life free of pain, sickness, and fear. Recapture your youthful vitality and experience your body healing itself with the aid of HB Extract. It's extremely effective and it starts working in just days. Visit hbextract.com to learn more and to read scores of testimonials from satisfied customers. And we've never increased our price in over 10 years. That makes Heart and Body Extract as great a value now as it was the first day we sold it. A healthy heart is a happy heart. Call 866-295-5305 or go to hbextract.com.
By now, you may have heard a bit about Bitcoins, but did you know Bitcoins are now over an $8.5 billion market? And did you know that over 65,000 businesses now accept Bitcoins? Listen, if you're already earning Bitcoins or trying to make money in the Bitcoin market, you've got to know bidbit.co. Why? Because bidbit.co is where you can easily receive Bitcoin by selling and auctioning off your own personal items or promote business products and services for Bitcoins. You heard right. Whether personal or business, you can now buy, sell, and auction your products and services quickly, easily, and securely for Bitcoin at bidbit.co, the first and only marketplace website to offer Bidbit Escrow, a proprietary technology which gives buyers and sellers security and peace of mind because all transactions are protected. Start today. It's free to join, free to post, free to auction, and free to bid at bidbit.co. Buy, sell, bid, or auction everything Bitcoin. That's www.bidbit.co, bidbit.co.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-855-905-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. Say goodbye to the cable guy and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. Sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99 and there's no equipment to buy. You get free HD TV upgrade, a free DVR upgrade, and free professional installation. You control what you watch when you watch it. Record your favorite shows. Pause and rewind live TV. Even skip the commercials. Watch local channels too. At just $19.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV. Say goodbye to the cable guy. Cut costs and get more. 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV.
Class, if you'd like to listen to USA Preparers on YouTube, it's just go to USA space Preparers space radio space show. USA Preparers radio show. Do a search on YouTube and you'll find us. Ron Gibson's channel. And I really want to thank Ron Gibson for making this possible. John Regan, back to you.
Okay, Obama... The guy that's putting out tons of carbon dioxide, flying across country for a photo op and then to play golf, has signed an executive order to cut greenhouse gases by 40% by 2025 for the federal government. And of course, he plans on reductions of carbon dioxide by the rest of us as well. And why this executive order is important is because alternative energy is more expensive on the first part, which means cost of government is going to go up. And second, there's nothing that I've seen in production or in the pipeline for energy that can meet the demands that are currently met by oil, gas, and coal. This is another, way of collapsing the economy and getting rid of people. We just don't have time for that because I want to get to what the EPA is up to. They want to monitor how long hotel guests spend in the shower. And this will probably be one of those Internet of Things devices to conveniently relay the information. But they don't say whether or not they plan on using facial recognition to identify individual guests, but that would not surprise me as well. And we also know they want to put meters on water wells for the people that aren't on the utility grid, and even in the houses, where we have the metering. I wonder if they want to include in this Internet of Things, devices on every device that uses water in the house, so we know how much is being used where, and possibly even by whom. Vincent?
Well, I know farmers are very concerned about water wells, and I know that we're very concerned about the quality of water, and it's getting worse. Water is getting more polluted all the time, and that's why we have pallets of ProPure and Berkey water filtration systems at the Get Prepared Expo. And we'll have them at the lowest price in the country. There's no question about it. And we'll have diatomaceous earth, and we'll have Kyone Nitro Extreme, and everything you could possibly think of for your survival, we'll have. Solar power, everything you think of, water distillation. And, John, I'm really frustrated. I'm really frustrated because most people, I don't think there's more than 1% of us that actually is getting it and is seriously considering preparing. Not that 1% of us are prepared. A fraction of that 1% are prepared. But 99% of us don't get it. Don't care. Go to baseball games, football games, basketball games, play golf, are interested in vacations. Stop taking those vacations. Put your money toward preparedness. And by the way, if you have decided that you're going to start your business right now, or you have last week, you can deduct the cost of coming to the Get Prepared Expo if the Get Prepared Expo is in line with the business that you've started. Seriously. 56.5 cents per mile you can deduct coming to the Get Prepared Expo, your plane fare, your meals. You can deduct all of it. And we're going to show you how at the Get Prepared Expo. Ed Marvini is going to be with us, and he's going to talk about starting your own business at the Get Prepared Expo. John, we have been dumbed down to the point where we don't even want to think anymore. We want someone else to tell us what to think. Class, never reelect anybody. These guys have destroyed our country. It'll be a miracle if we can turn it around. But it's our job to try. Never reelect anybody. John Regan?
Yeah, and just one quick word on the Unprepared Prepper. It's the ultimate game of you bet your life. And I want to try and help you win that bet.
That's a really good point. We are betting our lives. We really are betting our lives. So, class, consider coming to the Get Prepared Expo. It's in 3 days. The end of this week. Starts on Friday. Information on the website, getpreparedexpo.com. And above all, honesty and integrity. What happens next is up to you. John Regan.
The freeze-dry guy, leader in the preparedness industry for 44 years, is closing his California warehouse. Don't miss out on this huge warehouse sale and receive discounts from 30 to 40% off on the finest Mountain House and Packaway brand freeze-dried and dehydrated foods for long-term food storage or even everyday use. Plus deep discounts on all in-stock survival gear. The freeze-dry guy is offering a wide selection of freeze-dried foods in number 10 cans and even individually packaged entrees. Remember, meats, vegetables, fruits, and long-range patrol rations are the main components for any long-term food storage. This is limited to stock on hand, so hurry and call 866-404-3663 or 530-798-4414. Remember, as always, free shipping to the lower 48 states. So hurry up and call 866-404-3663 or 530-798-4414. Remember, this is limited to stock on hand. The freeze-dry guy is your choice for survival food in an uncertain world.
You pick up the receiver with your heart racing and sweat dripping from your forehead. You finally muster the courage to dial the number to call into your favorite talk radio show. It rings once, twice, and then...
Hello, it's GCN. What's your name and the state you're calling from?
Surprised you got through, you squeak out.
Jason from Minnesota.
Please hold.
As you patiently wait for your turn, you begin to daydream about being a famous talk radio host and what it would be like to have your own show.
Jason from Minnesota, you're up.
Millions of loyal listeners worldwide waiting to call and talk to you.
Caller, are you there?
Cheering crowds surround you, calling out your name.
Jason! Jason! Going once, twice. Okay, we gotta move on to the next caller.
You blew it.
Huh? Wait, no!
Interact with with the host you're listening to right now, online at gcnlive.com. Click on the community link. Engage with other listeners. Ask questions. Start debates. Don't agree with the host? Let them know. Be a part of the community at gcnlive.com. Your place for the Baldwin McCullough Show. GCN.
MyTV, 1-855-905-MyTV. Say goodbye to the cable guy. Cut costs and get more. 1-855-905-MyTV. 1-855-905-MyTV.
There's a better place to get your podcast. GCNlive.com. Hundreds of thousands of hours. Archived for your listening pleasure. All free at GCNlive.com.